lot of my favorite RPGs have always been ones that do something interesting with the battle system. The Mario and Luigi games have always been one of my favorite examples. Learning the enemy moves and being able to dodge and even counterattack with practice is incredibly cool. There seems to be a little bit of a debate these days over whether or not turn-based combat is outdated, and while I definitely don't agree that turn-based combat is an inherent bad thing, I do tend to prefer the games that do something different with it more than others, especially if they incorporate some sort of action-focused gameplay, and bonus points if they do it in a creative way. This is territory that I'm seeing more and more indie games explore, and there's a game here I've been following for a while now. And of course, what grabbed me about it was the battle system. Other Her Loving Embrace is an upcoming indie game I've had my eyes on for quite some time now. It's currently got a Kickstarter up, if you're watching this video while it's new at least, and that is exciting because I always miss Kickstarters. This is a game I've been interested in for a long while now, and I'm actually really happy that I'm able to check it out for once while I'm still able to support the project. So yeah, with that said, let's crack into this thing. It looks cool as hell, and I'm actually pretty stoked. We begin with a sort of backstory that sets up the world and characters, explaining the creation of the world. The first beings created were souls, then things with physical bodies like animals, and finally, beings that had both bodies and souls, humans. We then learn about the fall of a kingdom, with people rebuilding and learning from history's mistakes. This brings us to a little town called Chestertown. It's pretty evident right away that the game's world and setting will play a highly important role in the game's story. And there's the title screen. Man, that is nice looking. The colors and the sweeping clouds, even the flicker from the campfire down there, that looks super good. The file select screen has this backdrop of an underwater ruins with the camera panning way up to the surface once we make a file. Okay, I know already that this has to be something, you know what I mean? Like, they set up this world and lore and stuff, then it's like, wait, what is this area? You know, like the title screen of Cave Story, you know, that comes into play later in the game. I'm getting vibes like that, dude. Hi, my name's Gershom. I live in a really cool castle. We get this adorable sequence of crude drawings that Gershom did to give us a little sit rep. He explains that spirits have been attacking his village, but then he meets this wizard who has a plan to save the village, taking Gershom in as his student. See, Gershom can use basic magic powers, which has impressed this wizard and inspired him to take him along in the journey to stop the spirits. The plot is very character-driven. You'll see a lot of interactions between the two main characters, and they are a joy to watch. Gershom's a little kid. He's sweet, young, and innocent, and then the wizard's this sketchy, do-it-my-own, less-than-legal way kind of guy. They almost have a Mob and Reagan dynamic, if you're familiar with Mob Psycho. Wait. Huh. It's really funny because despite calling himself the Wizard, none of his attacks actually involve magic, so it raises some eyebrows. Like, is this guy really who he says he is? Or did he just see the potential in a magic-bearing child and maybe wanted to take advantage of that? Either way, Gershom's none the wiser, and it's kind of hilarious. These magic abilities can be both used in and outside of battle. Your first move is wrapping objects in a magic bubble. In combat, this can be used either as a shield or a way to immobilize enemies, and on the overworld, it's used for puzzle solving. That's one thing I really like about this game. Every ability you learn has a function both in battle and on the overworld. It very much reminds me of the first Mario and Luigi, which pretty much did the same thing. Every move, from the hammers to twirls, everything could be used in battle and also as a way of traversing the game's world. Using these in battle will have you perform a quick time button press minigame, kind of like the Megaton Punch in Kirby. These will consume spirit points, but will either do more damage than a normal attack or will inflict some sort of status effect. Now, surprisingly enough, it's not the special attacks, but the completely regular attacks where this game gets cool. When you're being attacked by an enemy, you'll enter a side-scrolling view, and here you can run, jump, and do a quick dash move to avoid whatever attacks the enemy throws at you, and then you gotta survive until the short amount of time is up. Now, of course, the comparisons to Undertale are going to be inevitable, so before you have to watch the internet get flooded with this, let me explain to you why this system is so amazing. It is a similar concept, but rather than making a sequence out of only the defense phases, Other goes a number of steps further with this idea. This side-scrolling minigame also occurs during your attack phase, so in addition to being able to run, jump, and dash, you can also swing your axe or your fist to attack, depending on the character. Stringing together combos with a small range of Smash Bros. Styled A-button moves, you'll try to inflict as much damage as you can to your enemy in the tiny amount of time you're given. You can mash the button for a standard 3-hit combo, or you can hold down an attack to launch him up, then hold up an attack to uppercut, and it becomes this badass juggle combo. And the game's got that juice to make each hit feel good. The screen shake, short and quick sounds that communicate each individual strike, and those little numbers to show you how much damage each hit landed. Oh man, the defense phase is so rewarding to play. You'll have those Mario and Luigi moments where you just don't really understand an attack and it kicks your ass the first time, but after fighting the same enemy a couple of times and you get some practice, you start to get a grasp on what to do, and then you're the one kicking their ass. You can also hold down the dash button to charge up a stronger attack, but it's a little bit risky because obviously spending time doing that also means spending less time attacking, so it might actually be a better idea to charge during the defense phase instead, but you have to keep in mind that while charging you cannot move, you can only dash. Sort of like holding a shoulder button and then pressing left and right in Smash Bros. It's similar to that, except I don't think you get any iframes, so learning when to charge also plays a key part in this game's strategy. Oh right, there's also this really cool twist with the battle system during the demo's final boss. It sort of like recontextualizes moves you've already learned how to dodge, but in a brand new way. Oh man, I don't want to spoil it though. I'm not going to show footage. If you want to see it, you gotta play the demo yourself. It's so cool. This is legitimately, and I cannot stress this enough, this is my favorite battle system I have played since Mario and Luigi. It is this bizarre and genius injection of Smash Bros-esque platforming combat into a turn-based RPG, and buddy, it works. It works! Though, one thing I did notice is that I often found myself using standard attacks instead of specials, despite the specials doing so much more damage, and it was because the normal attacks are more fun to use. This raises an interesting problem. Is it a problem? I don't know, but I think the special moves could use a more interesting minigame, one that's even more fun than the regular one, because the whole reason I want to use special moves to begin with in Mario and Luigi is because they're more fun to do than the normal ones. Here, it's kind of the opposite, and it gave me very little desire to use the special moves at all. I do freaking love how the screen looks though, the way the menus and borders all slide in and out of position as each phase transitions. It is snappy and clear, and it couldn't be more to the point. And while the Undertale comparisons may seem obvious at first, there's definitely more inspiration from the Mario RPGs under the hood, even down to being able to get a first strike by swinging your axe at an enemy on the overworld. The overworld stuff might not be as interesting to you though. If you like a Link to the Past style puzzle solving, expect a lot of that, pushing blocks, breaking pots, that sort of thing, and with each new magical ability, you'll discover a new way to interact with your environment. The problem here though, and I know it's simply just a limitation of the demo being stuck to such an early part of the game, is that during those beginning moments when you only have the one power, all of the puzzles are pretty similar. I hope you like sliding block puzzles, because for the first half of this demo, that's all you're gonna see. At least you can hold the run button to push stuff way faster. That was kind of a lifesaver. The game does seem to be a bit self-aware though. I swear if I see another one of those again, I'll lose my mind. Sorry Wiz, but that ain't the end of it. The puzzles do get a lot more interesting once you discover another power. A big strength this game has that a lot of Zeldas lack is that it uses these abilities together. Once you can teleport, the game does not forget about your old ability, and you'll have to use them in conjunction with one another to solve many puzzles onward. There's also a lot of secrets to find in the overworld. It's got these cool Star Tropic styled hidden areas guised by tile sprites that you simply walk through to discover, and a lot of these will link back to shortcuts that connect the world together. When I went down those stairs and I came out in the forest by the shop, it like blew my mind. I could not believe that was there the whole time, and I just walked right past it. And if you're the kind of person who likes learning about the game's world by exploring, Other has plenty of that. Investigating your surroundings uncovers details on what occurred here long ago. We've been locked in this damn room for almost 2 weeks. And watching how the characters react to the situations around them does a really good job of developing them. For instance, when they find out that Gershom can increase his magical powers by exploring these ruins, Wizard suggests creating a magical barrier around the town to keep the spirits out, while on the other hand, Gershom is more interested in discovering why the spirits are attacking to begin with. The different solutions offered by these different characters says a lot about them, and watching them try to come to an agreement on what to do is really interesting. It's backed by great writing, great characters, and a world that's genuinely interesting to learn about. Also, I jokingly asked if they could put me in the game, and well, they certainly did in some shape or form. Bonus points if you can find this, by the way. They hid it away pretty well. I always ask that as a joke, but like, if people keep doing it, I might as well keep asking. This game is really good. I am in love with this thing, dude, and like, I imagine some people might not be on board with all of the puzzles. You know, I can imagine some people might find them a little bit long-winded or aggravating, but everything else is so inventive. It is new, it is different, and it is really well put together. If you're watching this video when it's still new, check this game out on Kickstarter. I really want them to reach that goal. And even if not, check out the demo if it seems like something you might find interesting. You get a good meaty 2 hours out of it, which is more than enough to see if it'll click with you. I'll have links to where you can do both of those things down in the video description below. Show them some love, man. Like, I'm really excited about this thing, and I'm really happy that for once I can actually back something hard while I still can. Like, it just taps into so many weirdly specific things and inspirations that click with me really hardcore. It's like, if I could make an RPG, I think this is what I would make. Like, are you joking? A Zelda take on Mario and Luigi with platforming combat? Starring Mob and Reagan? Yes, this is such a me game, and this is amazing that it even exists. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. Okay, big important message, please get them to their $200,000 stretch goal. I want them to release this game on Wii U and the Vita and DOS. And GameCube.